Hello and welcome to TinkerTanks-WoT. We're in a Tier 8 battle on South Coast map. And top tier this time, that's always good. I'm in the Centurian 1, which was really the first main battle tank. It was designed, they started the design process in 1943. And it was intended to be a universal tank that would replace the light, fast cruiser tanks and the heavy infantry tanks. And one tank to do it all. This is the concept that evolved into the modern main battle tank. So, I've mounted the second turret and the 20-pounder gun, which is a great improvement over the 17-pounder. Has a lower rate of fire, but much greater penetration at 226 millimeters of penetration, and significantly more alpha damage at an average of 230. So I'm heading for the beach here because this is a good map for it. As you can see, if you look at the blue line on the mini-map in the circle, that's my view range, which is 440 meters. So the beach is a good place for me because I've got long lines of sight there and can take advantage of that view range. Of course, I also have a Cromwell and a Chaffee running well out ahead. So they'll spot things for me to shoot at long before I will see them, even with my great view range. And as you can see, not a fast tank, but it's not slow either, averaging about 40 kilometers an hour here on the beach. The theoretical top speed is 40 kilometers an hour, but you can actually beat that sometimes, especially going downhill. A lot of tanks in World of Tanks will only achieve their top speed if you drive off a cliff. But this isn't one of them. And even with the second engine, with only 650 horsepower, it moves out fairly well, although its hill climbing abilities are not superb. I'm sort of amazed we haven't run into anyone yet driving down the beach like this, because usually you run into the enemy right about where the Cromwell and Chaffee are now, at C2, B2. But we don't seem to be running into people very quickly. The enemy's not doing the sort of things you would expect by coming down the beach or advancing a little more aggressively down the west side or east side. The east side, rather. But we now are running into them. Our Cromwell and Chaffee have run into the enemy Comet, and that's not a happy thing for the enemy Comet. He's taken out now. So I'm rounding the corner and heading up towards their cap circle with the scouts running well ahead. And the T-54 seems to have cornered their T-21 and taken him out. And really the rest of the map seems to be pretty well in hand. So I can focus on what's going on in my immediate area. And as you can see, climbing the hills, not this tank's best thing until you get that last engine. But that extra 100 horsepower will make quite a bit of difference. So, and again, and there goes our scout. The Chaffee just fell to that T-34-3, which is the a Chinese version of a Soviet tank. Puts a big hit into the Cromwell. And, yeah, if he's going to let me shoot at his lower plate, I'll be happy to have some of that, thanks. I'm trying to keep hull down here. And let's go for the commander's hatch. Another vulnerable point on that tank. And at this range, I've got the accuracy to exploit those small weak spots like that, but I'd rather shoot into his lower glacis, as I did just there. And he's had enough. He's going to hide around the corner. Meanwhile, our ISU-152 has stepped up. Oh. And this French armor destroyer has very well-sloped front armor, very bouncy, so I shot him in his viewfinder, which is a weak spot on that tank. And he's coming back for more, so, bounced that one. And now one of their heavies has moved up to, it's a KV-4. And that's bad news. He's very heavily armored, but Then again, his lower glacis isn't that heavily armored. And his commander's hatch is also a weak spot. So I'll happily put a round into there. He seems to be very focused on that ISU 152, which lets me give him a little rough handling from behind. And he's going to focus his attention on me now, but at this range, I can hardly miss. Although I have been tracked by their artillery. And I've already used my... No, I haven't already used my repair kit, but my crew took care of it just fine. So, moving up towards the cap circle. And, yeah, other members of my team are spotting their artillery on the other side of the map. And there's a TOG-2 here somewhere. There's an ISU 152. Takes a good piece out of our ISU 152, but that puts him side on to me. And yes, thank you, I'll have some of that. And there's the TOG-2. And he's got the British quick-firing 17-pounder, but he's very low on health, and it's only going to take me a couple shots to put paid to him, because his armor is, well, pretty much junk at this tier. And there's the ISU 152 again. Put another shot through his lower glacis. And he's after our FV 304. So I'll happily put a shot through his side. Gets his attention turned back towards me again. And finish him off with another shot. So, moving up into the cap circle, there is still a heavy tank, a Tiger 1, I believe, an artillery, and a Walker Bulldog active on the enemy team. And by getting into the cap circle, I'm hoping to draw them out where we can shoot at them. And somebody just signaled that the Walker Bulldog is over there, this way. And since he was just on the last spotted on the beach, that doesn't seem unlikely. And our FV 304 is coming over to have a look. It's a very quick little tank. But I'm not sure why he's heading over there. And exposing himself. And getting killed. The M41 has an autoloader with 10 rounds in the magazine, so he can do a lot of damage in a hurry. But speaking of which, the ISU 152 just scraped off most of his health with one shot, and I just took the rest with a shot to the side of the turret. And didn't move in time, and the artillery killed me. So, I forgot the artillery was in play, stupid mistake, and it cost me my tank. But we do pretty much have this one in the bag, since either the artillery or the Tiger is in our cap circle. And now we have two tanks in the cap circle. So, well, there's a shot from artillery coming in, but it was a random shot, and it didn't hit anything. Pardon me. So, the Centurion 1, mostly upgraded at this point. Very good, capable tank. And I'm having a lot of good games in it. I'm really enjoying playing this tank. It's my favorite Tier 8 at this point. Not that there's a lot of standard for comparison. I've only had a couple of Tier 8s. And a really good result. First Class Mastery Badge. A Fighter Ribbon for killing 4 enemy tanks or more. A couple other miscellaneous ribbons. And High Caliber for scoring the most damage in the battle with 3,220 damage and 766 spotting damage. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. We'll call that good. As you can see, I've also come in first on team by experience, and that's always satisfying. And sorry, I just completely blanked out there for a second. So, 1,121 raw experience, 4 kills, 3,220 damage. And 17 shots fired, 16 hits, 15 penetrations. 848 damage from more than 300 meters. Took 7 hits, 6 of them penetrated, and my armor blocked 750 damage. So, Centurion 1, mostly upgraded. Damn good tank. A lot of fun. You'll probably be seeing a lot of it in the future because I'm grinding up experience to get the last engine upgrade. So, hope that you enjoyed that. If you did, hit like below, and we'll talk to you soon.